Is it then difficult for you as the band leader kind of to get it all together and form it into one cohesive whole?
No, because like I said, we grew up together, so we know how to play with each other, and so it's, I have to, as a band leader, I have to sometimes give them the direction, like, okay, like, look, like, this is what we're trying to do, because, people may have different ideas as to what is happening. Mm-hmm. So, like, as a band leader, I'm just kind of like getting everybody facing, we're all headed north,
right?
And that's all I'm really doing, and then they kind of figure out their own way to head north. One person might be on a bicycle, one person's on a pogo stick, somebody else has a glider, but I'm just telling everybody we're heading that way. Right. And then we all just go. That's all I really do.
And then I'd like to go into the epic a little bit more, but keeping in mind what you just said, it is quite the undertaking, I believe 172 minutes. But it opens with the change of the guard. So where were you headed with that particular track and the opening of that whole?
I actually wrote that song. It was in tribute to my dad's a musician, and so I grew up around a lot of him and his friends. Right. And they were all so talented and great. And I just remember being a little kid and wondering why, because I knew about the generation before them, and I just always wondered why they never got to do that. They never got to go. They never put albums out. They never went on tour. They never they do a lot of shows. I used to always wonder why. Right. And so I wrote that song. It was like "Change of the Guard," which is like, it was almost like for those guards that never got to have that change. So it was kind of like a tribute to them more so than to me.
Okay. Have you asked your father why?
It's just difficult, Sometimes you have to just wait for an opportunity to come to you, and sometimes it doesn't come. Okay. In Los Angeles, up until now, had always been a place that people kind of overlooked. Okay. They didn't really look to Los Angeles for new innovations in music. So if you were kind of trying to play some progressive music and that kind of stuff in LA, you were a bit sometimes trapped in LA. Right. You could do it in LA. It's a big city, and they did. They played in LA, but it was just trying to get that out of LA. It didn't really happen.
So where do you think then that it fits now with what you're doing? And then is there now a more progressive culture in terms of, and then on a larger scale in the music industry, more progressive culture? You think?
Yeah, I definitely think. There was always been a progressive culture in LA and in the music scene. It's just about whether or not people are looking for it. Right. The music is always happening. Sure. There's always musicians making music. Always. Always has been, always will be. Now whether or not that music reaches the masses, that changes from different times in the world. And so right now we're in a good time. It feels like musicians are reaching people more so almost than ever. There's more musicians reaching more people than there probably ever has been. So, yeah, I think it's a very progressive time in music and in the world.
This might be a difficult question to answer then, but why do you think that is? Why are people perhaps now more receptive to certain?
I think information is very accessible, and music is very accessible. So I think that people now, it used to be when I was growing up, if you were the kind of person that had 1,000 CDs, or 5,000 CDs, that was a very unique person. Sure. That was someone who was really into music, right. And all your friends would come to you to hear music, and that was a thing. That was a lifestyle, right. To be a music head. Now every kid, every person has a device that has millions of albums, right at their fingertips, and they have millions of albums right at their fingertips, and so I think that's creating a population of people that have a kind of more refined palette for music. So they're looking for different styles of music. They're looking for music that has substance, and they know the difference. So.
And Well, because obviously you work with Kendrick Lamar. What for you was the motivation behind that? Why work with him?
Because he's brilliant.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I was a huge fan of his before I worked with him. Yeah, I mean, he's a brilliant artist. You know, he's a real genius, real live, living, real, you know, genuine genius.
What makes him so good?
Oh man, I couldn't tell you that. I mean, but I can tell you that, you know, he's connected to music. One, like, so he hears, when he hears music, it translates to him. So kind of like no matter what you do, he'll get it. Mm-hmm. And then two, he's real. He's a real artist that's really tapping into his own real personal emotions. Mm-hmm. And then three, he has that untangible thing that, like, he's able to just create something that no one else would think of, that no one else would do. So I don't know, he's great for a lot of different reasons, but I mean, in the end, because he makes great music.
And kind of what he does is that important? That is important for you as well, right? To be eclectic and to try out different things, not to what you mentioned earlier on, not to adhere to the strict rules of perhaps jazz, but to venture outside of it.
I think it's important to just be true to yourself.
Okay.
You know, if your true self is the textbook definition of jazz, then that's beautiful.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or if your true self is like straight up, you know, old school 90s hip hop. Right. But that's really truly who you are, then you should do that. Mm-hmm. It's only when you're trying to do something that's not you that stuff gets weird, you know what I mean? So to me, it's like, you know, if your true self is this hybrid between this music and that music, then it's be that. You know, because these words that we have and these descriptions that we have for the music are just, they come after the music. Sure. The music comes, and then we make a word up and make a description. So it's not the reverse. Mm-hmm. The music doesn't need to somehow adjust to fit the word. Sure. Yeah. And like the fact of the matter is that no two jazz musicians in the history of jazz play it the same way. Mm-hmm. So there's no right way to do it. You know. So in the end, all you really can do is do what you do. You know, it's like do it how you can do it. Right. How you hear it is the best thing you can do. And whatever that is, and like whatever people you reach with that, that's the people that you meant to reach. Right. And a musician trying to somehow, because even like if the rule is break the rule, that's now that's the rule. Sure. So it's like the real reality is that it's not about breaking the rules or following the rules. Mm-hmm. It's about just being true to yourself, and it's like that's what you really have to do.
Finally, then, because the way you speak about this and being true to yourself, how do you experience performing live? Are you very conscious on stage?
Yeah, it's like the thing I told you about when I'm writing, like when I'm in a dark room searching. Mm-hmm. But it's like I'm in a dark room searching with a bunch of people, and you only got this many minutes to do it. Okay. And so when we're playing live, we're still creating, and we're still trying to capture music, and we're still trying to tap in and connect. But now it's like I'm trying to not just connect with the music, I'm trying to connect with this person and that person and that person and that person, and then we're all trying to connect together, and then we're all trying to capture some kind of musical thing that's happening. Mm-hmm. So it's it's an intense experience. Like when we play music on live, it's like everything goes away. No thoughts. It's just we're just totally like zoned into trying to kind of do this thing with each other where we're like, you know, moving like this, and it's like, there it is. Okay, we're gonna go get it. Let's go get it. You know. That's beautiful description. Thank you very much for your time. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you.